What exactly is your ex thinking after she decided to break up with you or ask for space? Is she already seeing another guy? Is there a chance that she secretly wants you back? Or even more, is her taking space and breaking up with you a secret, indirect way of her saying to you, I want you to chase me more? What I've found in my 8+ years working with hundreds of guys over the years in relationships is that most men remain completely confused and baffled as to why woman actually left them, why she wanted space, and why she decided to leave you. Well, in this video, I'm gonna tell you exactly what your ex is thinking during no contact or during the breakup phase, so you know exactly what to do to actually get her back and prevent this from ever happening again. When most women do break up with a guy, they say something along the lines of,
I just think we're growing apart. I just think we're different people.
The dark truth behind this is really that you didn't meet specific needs that a woman has in the relationship, and she's using that as an excuse. So in this video, what you're going to discover today is I compiled what women actually say when they want to leave a guy, the top 3 things versus what it actually means. The first thing a woman will say to a man, the reason why she breaks up with him is, he's a nice guy, but the passion was just no longer there. Let's start off with the harshest red pill truth first that most guys will never learn in the history of being on this planet with a woman. When a woman says this, what she really means is that you were not masculine enough. Look, studies show that there are 2 types of men that women will go for. I actually did my whole entire thesis on this in grad school. They go for either long-term provider male traits, which is about 95% of men fall into this category. This is what fairy tales and Disney and even your parents told you to be. The nice guy that provides for her, that gives her all the emotions, that, works hard, and just typical 1950s father. And then there's the dark side of psychology. What a woman secretly wants, but she'll never admit. Some girls do admit this. They admit to wanting assholes because the assholes at least have these qualities. You don't need to be an a-hole to meet these dark needs, but the a-holes do. That's why women always go to them. If she's saying this to you, it's because you lacked healthy dominance and assertiveness in the relationship. One of the studies I actually included in my thesis that talks about this, that proves the point, was done that showed a woman's mate preference across their ovulation cycle. You see, when a woman's ovulating, she prefers that protector dominant guy and those traits. So what the study actually showed is that if a woman was with a provider male who showed only the provider emotional caring, but he didn't know how to meet these other kind of visceral, evolutionary attraction, passion needs, she tended to fight with the other guy to go out and find a short-term mate because her literal biology was convincing her mind to do so. It's pretty crazy. If you fail to learn how to develop these traits long-term, a woman will always leave you for another man. I'll tell you how to do this at the end of the video. The second thing a woman will say when she wants to break up with a guy or ask for space is that you're just being too controlling. This is what she's thinking, and this is what she's telling her friends. Now, this statement actually isn't too far from the truth, but you have to understand where this controlling nature came from and why a woman all of a sudden said you were controlling after the breakup or after the divorce, but during the relationship, it wasn't that much of an issue. And let me tell you through my story of Michael. Michael is in my marriage mastery program. Now, he grew up watching his parents, typical 1950s style relationship. The father made all the decisions, he was the head honcho in the household, and the mother was just there, happy to be there, right? She was a typical housewife, and she claimed she was happy. But, times change, right? And now modern women, they make their own money, and actually women are making more and more money on their own where they don't need to have the man be the provider male as much. This is why women are going more towards these protector dominant traits. However, what Michael did is that he had some of these traits, but it went overboard. You see, at times when his wife wanted to wear something out or go see her friends, he told her that she couldn't. Now this all stemmed from insecurity. This all stemmed from fear of abandonment on his part. You see, he thought to himself subconsciously, because he witnessed his father do this, that if I control her, if I put these strong boundaries on her and I keep her in this household and I don't let her go out, that she will never leave me. The unfortunate thing is that women have this, they're human beings like us, I know, right? Crazy. But we all have a sense of desiring freedom. We do want structure. We want to be told what to do at times, not to think. And you can provide that for a woman, giving her these boundaries and this leadership. But think of it like a spectrum or a pendulum, This pendulum swings where you can be too controlling or too passive. You have to find the middle ground. Now with Michael, unfortunately, he swung too far in the other end of the spectrum. Over time, his wife felt controlled. I talk about this in the barrier theory. I want you to imagine on this end of the spectrum where a guy is just too passive, too weak, there are no boundaries where the woman doesn't feel safe or protected. But if you go too far on the other end, imagine this enclosed barrier suffocating the woman every day where she feels like she just has to escape because she has no room for freedom and growth. Instead, you have to be this apex male, as I call it, where you have your boundaries set up, but she has the ability to roam within the boundaries to be safe, but also move freely in and out. Instead of being passive or aggressive, you are assertive. And learning how to find that delicate balance between the two is what the top 1% of men always have, and those guys never get left by a woman. The third thing a woman will say and think after she breaks up with you or asks for space is, he didn't appreciate me enough. Now this one confuses men more than any other. Because when I speak with guys in my marriage mastery program, the blueprint they have, it's called a blueprint mismatch, they have about being a good father, being appreciated as a husband is, Josh, I provided her with multiple vacations. We traveled the world. I give her beautiful kids. I'm there for the games. I have an amazing house. Look at the house. It's a freaking 14-story house. I'm a multi-millionaire. Like, I've given her this lifestyle. She should feel grateful for me. Let me read you a quote from David Dater, The Way of the Superior Man. The Bible of this stuff. I highly recommend you read it. But if she is a good woman, a strong woman, she won't tolerate your childish needs for pat on the head, collecting bigger toys, and being the king of the mountain. A good woman will love the childlike part of you, but she wants your life to be guided by your deepest truths, not your untended childhood wounds. She wants to feel it at your core. You have grown beyond the need for kudos and million-dollar toys. She wants to feel your self-generated strength of truth. Your idea for what you should be appreciated for is coming from your masculine archetype. The respect you want from your peers, your other men. That's not what she cares about. Yes, she wants to be provided for. That's this other blueprint we've been talking about. But what's more important? You know what? I was talking to a client today, literally one of my one-on-one clients, and he was saying how he showed up late to my session, right? And I said, you know, I'm really privy to the understanding that, you know, how you treat me is how you treat other people. I asked him, I said, did you ever make promises to your wife across the marriage and not show up because of work, because you're too busy? He said, oh, all the time. This guy takes responsibility. That's why I'm working with him one-on-one. He said, all the time. I said, well, I know I'm not married to you, but I feel disrespected. I feel not appreciated. And I imagine with your wife over years and years and years of doing this, even though you're giving her all these amazing things, she wanted you. You, your presence. That's the biggest gift you can give her. I see so many men get complacent that I put the ring on her finger till death do us part. I know in your masculine, logical frame of mind, that meant something, but if you're not showing up for her every single day, those words mean shit to her. They mean nothing to her. You must take an honest inventory of yourself for why things fall apart. If you want to work with me personally, to own up to your crap, to prevent this from happening again, or to save the woman that loves you but just doesn't trust you anymore, you can set up a call by clicking the link down below. You can work with me personally. Thanks for watching the video. I'll see you in the next one.